The attack came at dawn, about 4 a.m. I was fast asleep, having taken a sleeping drug after a hard day's work. Awakened by the rattle of gunfire, but feeling very hazy, I first imagined that a national holiday was being celebrated with fireworks outside our walls. But the explosions were too close, right here within the room, next to me and overhead. The odor of gunpowder became more acrid, more penetrating. Clearly, what we had always expected was now happening. We were under attack. It was not death that came crashing through those windows, but its shadow. For Trotsky, the bullets were only the beginning of a much darker pursuit. Leon Trotsky wasn't just another figure in the Soviet Union's early history. He was arguably its most brilliant mind after Lenin. Trotsky was a skilled orator, military organizer, and ideological firebrand who played a crucial role in Russia's 1917 October Revolution. After helping to overthrow the provisional government and establish Bolshevik rule, Trotsky's strategic leadership under Lenin's rule ultimately elevated him to the upper echelon of Soviet command. As People's Commissar for Military Affairs from 1918 to 1925, Trotsky played a central role in founding and shaping the Red Army, leading the Bolsheviks to victory in Russia's most consequential civil war. But although Trotsky was a brilliant strategist, he lacked one key trait that would ultimately cost him everything: the ability, or perhaps the will, to fight and maneuver the brutal political battle that Stalin had mastered. After Lenin's death in 1924, the revolution's future stood at a crossroad. Trotsky envisioned a permanent global uprising, an international movement to ignite socialism across borders. Stalin had a different plan: socialism in one country, focused on building Soviet power through tight authoritarian control and rapid industrialization through 5-year plans. This wasn't just a clash of ideology, it was a battle for the soul of the revolution and regime. And Stalin was always one step ahead. Stalin outmaneuvered Trotsky, weaponizing party loyalty and bureaucratic control. By 1927, Trotsky was expelled from the Communist Party. 2 years later, he was cast out of the same country he helped build from the ground up. Stalin cast Trotsky out of the Soviet Union, but he couldn't cast him out of history. From exile, Trotsky warned the world. Stalin's revolution had become a dictatorship. Marked by exile, he turned his fury into powerful writing and founded the Fourth International, a socialist movement defying Stalin from overseas. And Stalin, obsessed with eliminating all threats, wasn't done with him yet. Trotsky wandered from Turkey to France to Norway, never settled, never silenced. In exile, his pen stayed sharp. He exposed Stalin's purges, denounced betrayals of Leninist ideals, and warned the world of a rising dictatorship. From a sun-soaked villa in Mexico City, Trotsky's words still made the walls of the Kremlin tremble. He remained Stalin's most dangerous enemy, an idea in motion too loud to ignore. And Stalin, having assassinated all political opponents through carefully orchestrated plans during the Great Purge, would not leave Trotsky's defiance unchecked. In May of 1940, Stalin made his first serious move. A group of Stalinists based in Mexico broke into Trotsky Villa in the middle of the night with machine guns. Miraculously, even as hundreds of bullets tore through villa walls, Trotsky and his wife lived. This was Stalin's first assassination attempt on Trotsky. Although Trotsky narrowly survived, the shadow of death continued to loom over him. For a man like Stalin, a failed assassination wasn't a setback, it was a provocation. Just 3 months later, Stalin returned, and this time his plan was even more unexpected. A man named Ramon Mercader, a Spanish communist living in Mexico, began infiltrating Trotsky's circle by posing as a Belgian journalist. In reality, Mercader was an agent of Stalin's secret police, the People's Commissariat for Internal Affairs, also known as the NKVD. To get closer to his target, he entered a romantic relationship with Sylvia Agilov, an American confidant and secretary of Trotsky. Under the alias Frank Jackson, Mercader exploited Agilov's trust, gradually gaining access to Trotsky himself. August 20th, 1940, Mexico City, late afternoon. Leon Trotsky sits in his study, reviewing a political document. The gates are locked, the guards are posted, the walls are high. But inside the house, peril already awaits. Ramon Mercader stands in the room. He's posing as a trusted journalist and ally. To the exiled revolutionary, Mercader is just another leftist intellectual. But to Stalin, he's the knife in the dark. Mercader hands Trotsky a document, asking for his feedback. As Trotsky reads, Mercader steps behind him and pulls a hidden ice axe from beneath his coat. And then he strikes. But Trotsky doesn't die immediately. He screams. The guards rush in and overpower Mercader, but the damage is done. The blow has pierced Trotsky's skull. He's taken to a hospital where his team, bodyguards, friends, and family members surrounds him. He survives for another 22 agonizing hours. On August 21st, 1940, Leon Trotsky, revolutionary, military commander, founder of the Red Army, perishes from his wounds. His final words, "I will not survive this attack." Stalin has finally accomplished the task he attempted unsuccessfully before. Trotsky's death marked the disappearance of the last serious ideological rival to Stalin. The message is clear. Not a corner of the world was beyond the grasp of the Soviet regime. But what if history had never played out this way? What if the blow never landed? What if Trotsky had survived that August afternoon in Mexico City? The survival of Leon Trotsky wouldn't have just preserved a life. His continued existence would have preserved a powerful alternative to Stalin's vision of the Soviet Union and global socialism. As the founder of the Fourth International, he could have strengthened anti-Stalinist movements worldwide, challenged the USSR's image in the West, and influenced post-war political debates and leftist movements across Europe. Domestically, his survival would have remained a persistent ideological threat in the USSR, potentially shaping Cold War dynamics and keeping alive the possibility of a more democratic USSR. Stalin's extreme measures to eliminate Trotsky underscored just how dangerous his ideas were, even in exile. And dangerous ideas don't die silently.